Okay, so it is officially past the Reeperbahn Festival and I'm staying at a new hotel in Hamburg and it is literally a bunker. This whole building was previously a bunker and this is like the entrance and it has like a really cool lobby that is not even the highest view. This is the view from my hotel. Look at this. I'm out in the world again. This is my first day solo. I have 2 days solo. I didn't want to do a crazy trip this time. I didn't want to just like overdo it because I'm just planning on staying in Hamburg. Apparently, the tallest church is in this town. I believe that might be it. Apparently, it was the tallest city in Europe at one point. I have visited Strasbourg before, and I think they held the record following this. So, yeah, it's like over there. That way. Here's another port here, and I'm gonna check it out. And I'm gonna take you all with me. I'm gonna do a voiceover of this entire park because oh my god, this whole miniature Wonderland. I took maybe like an hour and a half worth of footage in just miniature Wonderland. It was absolutely insane. They had little miniatures of every single famous monument destination that you can really think of. Look at how detailed this is. This almost feels like California to me, but it could also be just like somewhere else in the world. I quite frankly do not know. But look how amazing it is. They had like an America section, so they had like everything from like Vegas. I feel like a literal kid. This is crazy. Like they even copied freeways. Look at this. And then you go over here and they have little vacation homes with tiny little people. Like the attention to detail is crazy. Like look at this. They have like a whole beach party going. This is actually ridiculous. And the little truck moving around. And then they have like a little snow scene, which looks like Sweden. It was freaking beautiful. I wish I could live in this tiny little home, but unfortunately I am too big for this tiny little home. Seriously, look at these trains. Oh my gosh. It was so freaking cool. And then it would change from like day to night in a blink of an eye. This whole area was crazy. They had a lake with real water that was going, like what the heck. And then there was also this tiny little newsroom. Who makes a tiny little newsroom? I forget where in the world this was. I feel like it was somewhere in Europe still. And then this was like Munich for Oktoberfest, which was also really insane. Like look at how detailed this is, but also all of the carnival rides. It was so amazingly beautiful. Like every single area that I would step in, I was just immediately gagged. Like, why does this exist? And then they also had like a rain thunder simulation. Okay, so I thought I had seen everything. I was wrong. Look at all of this. Look at this. I think this is actually like the most insane thing I've ever seen. Wow. And then I thought the coolness stopped, but like they actually have a working airport. Is that not insane? Look at this working airport. Oh my god. I didn't include all the footage that I took because honestly, if I just included over an hour's worth of footage of just miniature Wonderland, I feel like everyone would get bored. So if you want a full rundown of miniature Wonderland, I could make a separate video. This is Venice. No. Yes, this is Venice. Oh my god. And then they had a real life Vatican and the Colosseum. I was so shook by how realistic this looked. It was crazy. And then they also had Neuschwanstein Castle, which I have been to in person. This looks to scale. It's crazy. It was so beautifully sculpted. And then afterwards, I'd walked to the tallest church in Hamburg. I think it's crazy that this building used to be one of the tallest in all of Europe. Crazy. Look at that. It's a very tall building. St. Nikolai Church in Hamburg. Wow. This is... I can see why it was now the tallest. Oh! Oh, and you can go to the top. Oh my gosh. Last full day in Hamburg. I'm going to Stadt Park, which is Winter Hyde Park. to shoot some stuff. I'm hoping to shoot some music video stuff there, so that should be fun. I'll bring you guys with me. I'm hoping for a good last day. It's a little bit cloudy, as you can see. Maybe. I don't know if you can see over there, but it's just a super cloudy day, so I'm gonna hope for the best, and it should be fun. This park is super pretty. Wow. This park is really pretty. I've been here for a little bit, filming some music video stuff for Linger, some reels, and now I'm just finding a couple more places and then it's time for lunch. Central Station. I need to find where the heck this museum is. So this is where I'm at. Museum is right there. I gotta figure out how to get into this museum. This is Kunsthalle. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is the, I think, biggest art museum in Hamburg. Here we go. I'm gonna go check it out. It's open for a couple more hours, so I got some time to explore. Let's check it out. I'm not going to include the entirety of this museum because honestly it took me another 3 hours to just go through everything, but basically it was art from the 1400s to 1500s. Every single room had a different era in it, and then they also had like a whole modern museum as well, but I'm mainly showing like the 1400s area and then a little bit of the modern area so you guys aren't confused. But this whole museum was absolutely gorgeous. All of the artwork was insanely beautiful, and it really made me realize like how much art has existed before our lifetimes, and it's just so cool to see. Now you're probably thinking, why does Kira look so freaked out by something that she's watching? Well, because they had this like real life situation of like a dragonfly. Like you're living the perspective of a dragonfly just like roaming around this, I don't know, like ravine. It was insane to watch, but I sat here for like 20 minutes just appreciating how cool this was. And then I continued to walk around the museum, and there's just like more modern paintings. I believe these ones were from like maybe the 1800s. I could be totally wrong, maybe the 1900s. And then this transitioned into more like, it just kept getting like approachingly more modern. Like you can see like some of the paintings are more abstract, more just like simple lines. And I enjoyed this so much. I did not include as much of the footage in here as I wanted to, just because it's a lot of just paintings and it's kind of hard to just explain all of the paintings one by one, so I'm just kind of showing them rapid fire. And then there was like a whole nother side of the museum that you got to go to, and all of this art was super cool and interesting and very intriguing. This one was trippy to me because it was kind of just like artistic and cool, and I loved how this was shown. This timetable is pretty terrifying, and this artist leaves like predictions for what he thinks is gonna happen. This was so existential, but I thought to include it because of how crazy it was. Hopefully this timetable isn't accurate, but I just think art is so cool and how people can express themselves in such different ways. And it's like 2180 is a solar storm. Damn. So I just finished up at the Corduroy Museum. It's really nice. It took a long time, so if you are planning on coming here, now I'm heading to dinner. So after this, I kind of walked to my dinner. I was around this area before with Selena, which isn't in this stream, but the other day we actually sat at the restaurant where that fountain is and had some espresso martinis, and that was down there awesome. House, I think that's where I'm going. I could be wrong, but wow. This was back to when I was still drinking, but I got a little Aperol Spritz, which was super nice. And then I had to finish it off with some sauerkraut and sausage. Like, this was one of the best meals I frankly had on my trip. And look how beautiful it was. It was a great way to send myself off of this trip. And just the views were amazing. And then this is me going back up into the elevator. Just sad that I have to leave. Well, that nearly concludes my time here. I had a full day today, and honestly, best last day I could have had. It was super fun. I went to Stat Park, and then I also went to the art museum. Super fun day, and I'm just super grateful that I even got to go on this trip in the first place. It's not often that someone can say, like, TikTok flew me out to Germany to play a German festival. That is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm just extremely grateful for my community for getting me here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. I hope this vlog was entertaining. It's been entertaining for me, to say the least. I'm gonna end it with this view of Hamburg from my balcony without opening the window. Maybe you guys can see it. No, you can't. Can I open it here? Hopefully no spiders get in. One last view of the city. This has honestly been like one of the greatest trips I've taken. Thank you all so much for joining. Till next time, be sure to subscribe and check out more of the videos that I have on here. I hope to post more on here in the future. And thank you for being here.